You are listening to the Yummy Mummy Podcast, episode number 120.
Welcome to the Yummy Mummy Podcast, where you will learn brand new and shockingly different tools to lose weight for the last time. And now, here's your host, certified life and weight loss coach, Laura Conley.
Hello, Yummy Mummies. Welcome to the podcast and my sexy voice. I have a little bit of a cold, so enter voice of sex. Just kidding. So we're going with it. This is what I sound like, so take it or leave it. But I'm here and we have an amazing episode for you. You might think it's a little off topic, but it's not. I promise. We are talking all things retreats today. So before we dive in, little fun fact about yours truly. I'm about to go on my own retreat with my husband just for like 36 hours. So we're going to talk about in this episode how there are so many different types of retreats. But that's a fun little fact. We're going on a 36-hour getaway, ski vacay, hot tubbing it up. And then I'm about to do another retreat in a couple weeks to Miami, which is a work retreat, which is so fun. I get equally as excited about those. So we're going to talk about all things retreats. Actually, my client comment is coming to you from back in the day, which was a Tuesday. I'm just kidding. I don't actually know what day of the week it was. But I wanted to share a testimonial from my days leading retreats. So one chapter of my amazing life was teaching yoga retreats and teaching yoga as well as coaching. But as most of you know, I have been a full-time coach for several years now, but have been a coach for over a decade. And I'm going to call it like my 30 decades since I'm almost entering 40s. I taught a lot of yoga. I did a lot of yoga retreats, traveled all over the world doing these retreats, probably have done dozens of retreats from Santa Barbara to Ojai to Palm Springs to Tuscany to Bora Bora to Hawaii to Mexico, all over the globe. And these retreats hold such a special part in my heart. Is that the right lingo? They hold such a special part in my heart. P.S. I'm recording this before I've had my coffee, so just go with me. So we have been all around the world, and then COVID hit, and I had little babies, and so I took a hiatus. But what's so exciting is that I'm going to be starting, and I just did a retreat with the master's group of Yummy Mummies in Vail this past fall, which was insane, and just like lit my retreat fire again. And so we're going to do another retreat in April, which all y'all are invited to. And this truly is not an episode about, hey, let me sell you on this upcoming retreat. I mean, it is like, you're going to want to go. But I actually just want to sell you on the idea of taking time for yourself and retreating for yourself. So the client comment is coming back from those days. It is coming from one of my clients named Laura Jacobson. Total shout out to her. I absolutely love and adore her. She's such a badass. She was like the chief marketing officer at like Starbucks and Pinkberry, and she started her own company. So go check her stuff out. She has a company called Tea Riot, which I think they have at Whole Foods, and I just think she's such a badass. Here is what Laura Jacobson says. Are you thinking that a retreat full of reflection, purpose, and challenge can't come with a whole lot of fun? Think again and get ready. See, she's a marketing girl, right? I love it. Think again and get ready to have one of the best times to connect with yourself and the world around you. Laura Conley's bright smile is charged with a friendly invitation to try new things. She balances focus and laughter, self-connection, and group connection, as well as purpose and fun. Get ready for contagious fun. No, my retreats are very fun. That will get your belly laughter connected to your heart, your passion connected to your spirit connected to your happiness. So a retreat is one thing, all special and meaningful. But adding fun, laughter, and just plain making real, that is Laura's touch of spirited happiness that is contagious. That's so sweet, Laura Jacobson. She signed it, self-appointed groupie of Laura Conley. Oh my God, I love her so much. So that gives you a little bit of a taste of what going on a retreat with me is like. I should collect some more testimonials. It was so fun, you guys, going back into the archives of all the retreat testimonials that I've gotten over the years. And just going down that, walk down memory lane was just so special. And I'm just like, I couldn't be more thrilled to bring this to the Yummy Mummy community, whether you are a Yummy Mummy experiencer, a Yummy Mummy master, a Yum Mum alum, or a listener who hasn't joined a program, that some of these retreats will be available to you. So let's dive into the content of retreating and like what a retreat is and why you might want to go on one and why you might not want to go on one. I think this is just a really important topic to talk about because I don't know if you guys know, but like the underlying principle and the guiding light of the Yummy Mummies is the mission to free the moms. That is the mission behind it, is to free the moms. And we start by doing it through health, wellness, weight, relationship with ourselves, and food. And so I think a retreat is a really cool way to become more free. So what is a retreat? Guess what, you guys? I made you a homemade definition. Are you excited? It's gonna be good. Okay. So I made my own personal definition for you. The R-E in retreat means remember. Like remember, get it? Remember, relax, renew, restore, revive, rejuvenate, re. And what does re mean in terms of a prefix to a word? It means, again, like you've already been there. So I think this is important because I think that is a huge part of a retreat. It's a homecoming. When you give yourself that space to be with yourself and to have fun and to connect with yourself and others, it really is it's a coming home. It's like, oh yeah, this is who I always was. It's always been there. So I just think that's really cool. Okay. Next part of the word is treat, retreat. What does this mean? In this context, a treat is a gift that you give yourself. And it's a gift that is not only deserved, and P.S., like, I'm going to get on my soapbox about this one. You don't have to deserve a retreat to go on one. You already deserve a retreat because you exist. But a treat really is just a gift you give yourself that is a true gift, like a real gift. Some of you probably know where I'm going with this, right? A real treat is not a fake treat. What's a real treat? A real treat is a true pleasure, something that leaves you feeling fulfilled, right? Not feeling empty, not feeling depleted. A real treat versus a fake treat is one in which you have the treat, and then at the end of the treat, you're like, yes, that was so good. Oh, I'm so glad I did that. Instead of like, oh my God, what the fuck was wrong with me? Why did I do that? Again, really, right? Fake treats versus real treats. True pleasures versus false pleasures. You know the difference because real treats, like a retreat, will fill you up, especially if you go with me, right? A retreat will fill you up. It will leave you not needing a vacation from your vacation, right? Are you with me? It gives you a net positive, not a net neutral. A lot of you guys probably really understand this because oftentimes food can be a fake treat. We think, oh, this chocolate, oh, this latte, oh, this pasta, oh, this cupcake, oh, this bread. I'm not villainizing bread, right? Really, seriously, you can eat all these things and still lose weight. But my point is oftentimes we're like, ooh, I'm going to treat myself with a croissant and then a couple more croissants and then a pick off my kids' croissant. That's not a real treat because then we're left feeling hungover. We have a net negative, okay? So a treat is a gift, a real treat that you give to yourself. So that's my definition of retreat. Do you guys like it? I made it just for you. Call Merriam-Webster for me. Tell them, hey, we need to edit. We need to edit this dictionary Laura Conley made a new def. Now, why might you want to go on a retreat? Let's talk about that. Now we know what a retreat is. And I really think like you guys probably already knew the definition of a retreat. I don't think it's like that hard to understand. Hold on. I have to drink my coffee. Oh man, guys, my coffee's so good. If you're watching on YouTube, look at my cute mug. Isn't that so cute? Oops. Yes, so cute. Oh my God, so cute. So cute. Can't even. So cute. I got my BFF, actually. One of my BFFs, Steph, it was her 40th birthday, and I got her the same mug. Twinsies. And we used to lead a lot of retreats together, and we were talking about it yesterday. So anyways, gotta get that coffee in. So why should you go on one? And of course, I'm not shoulding on you, but let's just talk about why you might want to go. So depending on what kind of retreat it is, because you could do a work retreat, you could do a retreat with your husband, you could do a retreat for yourself, by yourself. And that's kind of the one that I'm advocating for here today, because it's a slippery slope, right? Like a retreat / vacation. Is it really just a vacation? Really? Like this coming 36 hours is more of a retreat for my husband and I, because we're going to do stuff on our marriage. We're going to do some intention setting. We're going to do some manifestation, probably against his will. He doesn't really know it's a retreat. It is. No, I'm teasing. He knows. So depending on what kind, my advice is that you have an intention so that you know your why. Like, why are you going on this retreat? Now, if you come on a retreat with me, I'm going to make you pick an intention, right? I'm going to suggest, I'm going to highly encourage that you pick an intention so you know your own personal why. And I guarantee that if you do choose an intention, the best thing is that will come alive in some way, shape, or form on that trip just because you set that intention. It's just how the brain works. It's so cool. That's why I'm obsessed with setting intentions, and why I highly encourage my clients to set intentions on a daily and weekly, and they do it at the beginning of the program as well. So why go on one? I want you to know for you, but I'll explain to you why I think we should all be going on them, right? But it's also important that you know your specific why. And you can choose from my list that I am about to go into. Okay, so you might be shocked with my first why, my first reason. Hello. They're fun. They're that true fun, right? And if you're like, fun, that's so silly. It's so I don't have time for fun, fun. I seriously think the point of life is to have fun. I really do. I think the ability to have fun is actually super deep. The ability to be your 6-year-old self is really mature. Most people can't do that because it's scary. Fun can be scary. Really letting go and being yourself and having that true connected fun is the best. So that's first and foremost. My retreats are so fun. And I think that the way our culture is set up, we as moms don't have as much fun as I want us to be having. So they're fun. And that is a good enough reason in and of itself. That is a good enough reason. You might not think so because you've been conditioned to think you have to be serious and you have to get your to-do list done and there's no time for fun and we'll do that later on Saturday night from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and that's all the time there is for fun. No. No. Okay. So I also think another reason why you should go on one is because you can't go on a retreat, at least with me, and not be changed forever in a good way. You can't go on one and not become more of yourself. And I think that's all deep down what all of us really actually want, is just to have the ability to like be ourselves and, here I go again, have fun. Okay, another reason why I think we should go on retreats. Space. Mother effing space. 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 Like actual space. Like actually not having children dripping off of you. Space. Like a whole room to yourself type of space. Just space in your day kind of space. Space in your body. Space in your head, like literal space. So many of us lead lives, and it's not our fault, where there's little space. Oh my God, I'm like just taking an exhale just talking about this. That is why you should go on a retreat, to create space for yourself. And what's so cool is when you sign up for a retreat, or you decide to go on one, and you guys don't have to sign up for a retreat that someone else hosts. You can host your own. I just find it's way easier to just sign up for someone else's retreat, like mine. I'm totally kidding you guys. I don't recommend going on a retreat where you don't know the retreat leader, right? Or they're like not totally vetted, or you don't have a good sense of them. Like if you know them like on Instagram or like YouTube, or your best friend has been on a retreat, yeah, like go. But you might not want to go on a retreat like totally blindly, because I've heard some horror stories about that. I really have. So space. Like we live in a culture where there is not a lot of space. And again, it's not your fault that you don't have a lot of space. But that is, again, it's why I recommend going on a retreat that's pre-planned, so that you don't have more to do. So that's why retreats are amazing. You don't have to plan every dinner. You don't have to plan every activity. You don't have to be responding to emails. It's like, it's just freaking done. It's like the best. I'm about to go on a 40th birthday trip in June, and oh, I'm so excited, you guys. It's going to be so awesome. The whole thing is just planned. I don't have to pick the dinners. But I trust the people, right, who are planning it. I don't have to pick the hotels. Again, I trust the people. And that was like the best gift I've given myself, because I will spend, don't even bring this up to my husband, like an inordinate amount of time on like planning one freaking dinner. Some of you guys don't do that. You just like are spontaneous and you're like cool, like relaxed travelers. I'm like planning every single detail to the minute. I'm actually very flexible on vacation too. So if the plans don't go to plan, I'm like, cool. And I only say that because you want that in your retreat leader too, right? So space, that's why you should go on one. And again, like I'll do this. You guys ever do this? You're like, okay, on Friday, or fill in the blank, on Saturday, when my kids are napping, I'm going to put Phoenix down for a nap, and then I'm going to have Luna do a movie, and I'm going to go up to my room, and I'm going to read for 2.5 hours in my bed. I'm just going to read whatever I want. Maybe I'll fall asleep. Maybe I'll get in the bath. Never fucking happens. Just doesn't fucking happen. Just doesn't motherfucking happen. Doesn't. Maybe you guys like me early in the morning without coffee, because I'm kind of so crazy. It's kind of wild. So yeah, so space. Space. Okay. So when you go on retreats, this is another why. You become a better mom. You really become a better mom, because you feel, you guys have heard me say it 18 times. This way and that way, you have to put your oxygen mask on first to be able to help your children breathe and thrive and be and grow. You have to. Otherwise, they're getting half a breath. Right? You have to fill your cup up so you can fill theirs with beautiful, clean, purified water with maybe a little hint of an electrolyte instead of like filling their cups with like water from the sink. Hints of toxicity in there. I love a good analogy. You know I love a good analogy. Okay, so I remember really, what is in my coffee, speaking of? So seriously, you guys, you have to take time for yourself in order to be the mom that you want to be. That's at least my guess. I don't know this for a fact. Then I also think the flip side of that, go on this retreat so that you can like leave some of your roles and your identities behind. Because you are not only a mom, you are not only a worker bee, you are not only an employee or teacher or an author or a coach or whatever it is that like your job is. Same with like your friends or as a daughter or as a wife, right? Like seriously, or a partner, whatever, like seriously, you guys, it's so important that you see that you are someone else outside of that. And we can lose ourselves, capital S, in that self. We can lose ourselves in all of these roles, and it can feel really empty for us. It feels like for some of us, we're walking around like a shell. And so that's why I recommend you come on a retreat as a coming home, right? So that way you can remember who you are and you can take that back to your life and you can enrich your life when you're back in those roles. But you're not just your roles. There's so much more to you that's so cool and like, oh, just, what's the word? Just like potent. So why else do you think you should go on a retreat? I also think like it's helpful to go on a retreat so that maybe you figure out what it is you do want for your life. Maybe you figure out like, like who am I? Or what I want my next career to be, or just a way to connect to your gut and your intuition, that voice inside that you might be very disconnected from or maybe have never connected from, because that voice is guiding you and it's always there. It's just sometimes we don't give it the space so that we can like actually hear it. We don't give it the space to like actually talk. We don't give it the mic. So that's another reason I want you to be able to hear your intuition and gut in your gut, because you really do have all the answers inside. It's just that we're so goddamn busy, we can't hear the answers, right? So I think that's another reason to go on a retreat. You know, another great reason to go on a retreat? It's like there's very little decision fatigue. Do you guys ever get fatigue for making decisions like all fucking day, every day? What should they have for lunch? How should I craft this email? Where should we, how should I, when should I, decision freaking fatigue. I think we all have it. Okay, I need coffee, hold on. Well, you guys, did I tell you this already? Oh my God, I put the element LMNT, that's how you spell it. I put the chocolate caramel salt one in my coffee. I mean, this like is a retreat in a mug. I'm just dying to go to heaven over here with this freaking coffee. You know, one of my besties, she used to always like laugh at how slow I drank my coffee. But like it's a problem now because now I'm putting these electrolytes in this coffee and I like want to chug the shit out of it. It's so good. Oh my God. Hold on. I have to drink another sip. I also have to make lots of sounds. I have to moan about it a little bit. Okay, so there's no decision fatigue. You just get like a whole weekend or a week or whatever not making decisions or making very little decisions like, should I go to the beach or should I go to the pool? Should I read this book or that book? You don't really get tired. You don't get really fatigued for making those kind of decisions. So it's just nice to give yourself a break from the like really fight or flight that most of us are in on the day-to-day. It's a very subtle fight or flight that we're constantly in. So give yourself a rest. What about like a weekend without the to-do list. Wouldn't that just make you exhale? Wouldn't that just be like a huge sigh of relief? What about, this is another reason, the gift of having something on your calendar to look forward to. OMG. Like, that's like part of my favorite part of booking a retreat for myself. It's like, oh my God, it's on my calendar and now I get to look forward to it. What? That's so fun and cool. So that's a gift in and of itself. And it actually can help with all the other things I talked about. It actually can help your momming. Like, have you ever been there where your kids are just like pooping on the floor and like putting like corn kernels up their nose? And you're like, but at least I'm going to Boulder with Laura in a couple weeks, right? Seriously. You're like, you know what? I got a mom's night scheduled. I can do this. I swear to God, having that on your calendar is transformational. And it's such a gift. I mean, it really is one of my favorite parts. I told you guys I'm a planner. I love booking retreats and vacations because it helps me in my day-to-day to know like, oh, I've got this on the horizon. Like, oh, I'm taking care of myself as I'm taking care of my kids. So helpful. Okay, so what about, I just got a couple more reasons. Oh, I kind of touched on this, but what about like you get to come home refreshed, right? It's not a vacation you need a vacation from. So I really, really, truly believe that you have to go away. You have to get away from the decisions. You got to get away from the messy kitchen. You got to get away from the pile of books on your nightstand that are staring at you like, you should read me. No, you should read me. Get away. So the to-do list, like, go poof. Your phone really can even go poof, right? This is you creating a container for yourself to actually have a retreat when you go on one. Okay, now what about if you think, well, yeah, Laura, that sounds super nice, but like, I can't do that. I can't go. I can't go. What if you don't want to go? I'm not going to try to convince you to want to go. I am going to ask you to look at that. So this could be like a really fun opportunity to see what's inside your brain. Okay, so let's talk about first, I can't go. Usually people's brains will offer to them, well, you can't go because of a couple reasons. Money, childcare, or work. There might be some other answers or reasons in the ethers as well. Also, you know, another one that comes up a lot is like, it's like underneath, it won't present as this right off the bat, but underneath is like, I don't deserve it. Oh my God, don't even get me started. I got on a high horse with this one. Yeah, you fucking do deserve it. Yeah, you freaking do because you were born. You get to go on a retreat because you were born. Okay? Okay, so I can't go. I can't go. A lot of us can't go on retreats because of the money. And some of us genuinely can't afford it. Okay? But there's those of us whose brains will tell us, oh, you can't afford it. You don't have the money. But if you really want to go, I just want you to explore it. I'm not saying that you have to force yourself to like have the money. I'm just asking you to ask you, like, well, what is the value of this trip? Like, would I be a better mom? Would I feel better inside my body? Would I feel free? Would I be more connected? Might this have a snowball effect into all other areas of my life? Might this be amazing? And then you get to decide, like, is that valuable for you? I mean, the retreats I've been on, like as a retreater, and the retreats I've led, priceless and valuable. Totally. Sometimes you have to take the leap of faith and you have to just go on one to be like, to see, right? So some of us just aren't taught to value personal time, relaxation time, restorative time. Because again, we've been conditioned. We live in a culture and a society that is gold star based, that is achievement oriented, right? And we're taught that rest does not equate to that. And P.S. it does. Rest is so productive, right? You get so much more done when you are rested. And that's still not even the point, because really the point is you're allowed to rest because you want to rest. You're allowed to rest just because rest, you are worthy of rest. Okay, so sometimes your brain will throw out these excuses because it doesn't actually want to rest. It just wants to keep getting the dopamine hits of checking the boxes and getting the gold stars. You guys see where I'm going? So if your brain's like, oh, it's money, actually look at that. Like, if I really want to go, could I figure this out? Could I get resourceful? Could I get creative? And my guess is a lot of you can. So be willing to look at that, and that will be uncomfortable. So if you start looking at it and you start getting uncomfortable or doubtful, don't stop. Be like, oh yeah, this is the part that Laura said was going to be like this. She said I was going to get sweaty palms. She said I was going to get uncomfortable. She said I wasn't going to like this. And you guys, all this is applicable for the Yummy Mommy experience as well. Like, a lot of our brains are like, I don't have the money. I mean, talk to every single one of my actual clients. They're like, we're all so nervous to spend the money. They had to feel that discomfort to take the leap of faith. But on the other side, it's like, it's so worth it. That might be an excuse. You want to explore it. You want to poke holes about it. Might be a real reason, but it might be an excuse. Like, oh no, I don't have the money. It's like, well, I don't know. How much are you spending at Target? Like, every 2 weeks. What if you just didn't? What if you literally just didn't go to Target? I did that 1 month. I'm like, I literally am not going to go on Amazon for like a whole month. I never did that again after that. That was dumb. But I think I saved like $2,000. Okay. So money might be a real reason, but it also might be an excuse because your brain might not want to slow down because it might want to get the hits of dopamine from checking the box, right? Your brain is designed to keep you comfortable. And this brings me to my next point. You might have to have a hard conversation, right? Because you might be like, oh, childcare. Oh, like my partner isn't going to want to pick up the slack on the weekends. Your partner might actually really want to. Can I just put that on the table? They actually might love that for you. They might love that for them. They really might. They might also have some resistance to it. You could tell them, this is what you need, right? You can set that request. You can put that out there. My experience has been that when I make a request to my husband, even if he doesn't love it, he respects it and he wants to help me. And who really cares about my husband? That is what I see in the masses with my client's husband. They're like, yes, go. Or they're like, oh yeah, this is going to be tricky with childcare, but like we can figure it out, right? So be willing to have the hard conversation and to figure childcare out, because people will be like, I had a client that's like, well, I like literally don't have childcare. Actually, this is not just one client. Now that I say this, I'm like, oh God, this was like 100 different clients over the years. Just like, well, I just don't have childcare. I just don't have it. I'm like, that's not the end of the conversation. You got to say back to your brain, if you want to go on a retreat, well, how could I find childcare? How could I figure it out? How could I go on care.com? How could I talk to my neighbor and get her babysitter? Right? Our brains are trying to get us to just keep in the status quo. They don't want us doing different things. They want us staying the same. They don't want us trying the new babysitter, right? They don't. But my guess is, again, just like the money, you can figure it out. You can be resourceful. I was actually on a walk with my friend and she's like, I just don't have childcare. And I'm like, what about this? I'm so crazy. It's really annoying to be friends with me. And I'm like, and what about this? And what about this? And she's like, oh, no, she was actually so grateful. She was like, oh my God, this is like, I never even thought about that. I never even thought of that. Oh my God, that's so good. And now she has like a standing like date night with her partner because she figured out childcare when her brain was like, you can't figure out childcare. There's no such thing as childcare for our family. Not available to us. It's so interesting, our brains. So again, if your brain is giving you an excuse, I want you to clap back. I want you to at least have the conversation. I'm not saying you go on the retreat. I'm just saying don't let your brain have the last word. You have the last word. You make a decision that's intentional and on purpose and conscious instead of your brain making it for you and maybe holding you back from your wildest fucking dreams. AKA retreat life. Okay, so here's what I want to talk about. If you decide, okay, going on a retreat is so worth it for me. I really, really, really want this. And then you have the hard conversation, you figure the money out, you decide you deserve it, you decide you're worth it because you fucking are. Oh my God, I could just shake half of you. You are because you were born. I think about this all the time. Like my best friend, she just had a birthday yesterday. It's like, why are we celebrating her? Like on her birthday. It's her 40th birthday. Why are we celebrating her? Why are we having a party for her? Why are we going to the spa with her? Literally because she was born. I mean, she's amazing. I fucking love her. But like, that's why we're celebrating her. Because she was born. Because she's alive. That's it. She is worth a celebration because she was born. She's worth a spa day. She's worth because she was born. It's the same for you. You get to have a trip because you were born. Right? Birthdays are like totally arbitrary and made up. But we all agree with them because that's how we're programmed. We're like, yeah, let's celebrate so-and-so because they were born. I mean, I'm on board. I love birthdays. Like, I'm going to celebrate the shit out of all y'all. But I want to do it the whole year, too. Right? You're worthy to go on this retreat because you literally exist. And also, yeah, you could tell yourself that you deserve it because you clean the kitchen every night and you pack the backpacks every day and you fucking crush it at work, right? That too. So yeah, you can earn it. Yeah, you can deserve it. And also you can deserve it because you exist and you breathe because you were born. Okay. I'll step off my soapbox again. Oh, soon I'm going to be like a you are fucking worth it coach instead of a weight loss coach. But really, it's one and the same, isn't it? My clients know it. So there's a huge transformation in you putting yourself at that top of that list, being like, I'm going on a retreat. And you make the decision, that's almost worth the price of admission. Like, wow, I did this for me. Wow, I'm doing this for me. Wow, I put myself at the top of the list. This must mean I'm worthy. This must mean that I do deserve cool shit. You will start to show up in a whole new way in your life, and your people will benefit because of it. Okay? Nobody benefits by you staying small and not worthy and not valuable and victim-y and wah. Nobody. No. People benefit when you are fucking you. When you are shining your big, beautiful light. Oh my God, I am like on a tear this morning. Okay, so we had that talk. You can go if you want to go, okay? All right? Done? Deal? Good. Now, you might not want to go. If you genuinely don't want to go, that's fine. But ask yourself, why don't I want to go? Because some people don't want to go because they don't want to like be by themselves. Or if you come on my retreat, you won't like be by alone when we're like doing our retreat stuff, right? But yeah, you might travel alone, right? You might be in the hotel alone. And people don't want to do this. No, because that shit's scary. It's really easy to stuff down the truth of our lives or what we really feel or like our authenticity when we have to do carpool pickup and then we got to bake the cookies and then we got to like do story time and then we got to respond to the email and then 18 texts. It's really easy not to be with yourself. But being with yourself is the gift of a lifetime. But for some of us, it can be so scary just because it's not familiar. And just because you don't know how to handle the things that come up. Now, lucky for you, I teach you how to handle those things that come up. And all they are really is your truth. And if it's feelings that you're afraid of, go back and maybe listen to my podcast, Some Feelings. But if it's feelings you're afraid of, I help you how to feel them. And that's like a skill you can have forever. But yeah, you might have some feelings that arise and that's why you don't want to go. And that's just not a good reason. Because what if you could find out what your life's purpose was? Or what if you did get the secret code to losing weight for the last time? Or what if you just had a weekend of fun? Like, it would be worth feeling a little like vulnerably or a little like raw or a little like scared. And that's normal. It's kind of exciting too on the other side. So look at that. If you genuinely don't want to go because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to go because I don't want to go on Laura's retreat because she's a kooky kook. She cray, right? Fine. But if you don't want to go because you're afraid of yourself, I don't like that reason. I don't like that for you. Don't like it for you. Don't like it for you. That is what a retreat is, and that is why you should go on one. Now, you might want to go on your best friend's favorite yoga teacher's retreat. Fine, go. Great. That's awesome. Now, if you want to come on a retreat with me, guess what? We're doing the YMX, the Yummy Mommy Experience IRL. Okay, so in real life is what it's called. And it is for whether you are, again, a Yummy Mommy experiencer, a Yummy Mom master, a Yum Mom alum, and anyone that has been following the podcast, anybody that's in the community, right? You are more than welcome. So this event is going to be, this retreat, this time of your life is going to be from April 28th to April 30th. So it's a Friday to a Sunday in Boulder, Colorado at the St. Julian, which is a fancy hotel in the heart of downtown Boulder, which is, I just love that. I love that city. And it backdrops right up against the iconic Flatirons, which are these like gorgeous mountains. So we'll be hiking those. That will be optional, that hike. But the theme behind the Yummy Mommy Experience IRL is freedom, is free the moms. So if you feel like you could use a bit more space and ease and fun in your life, this is for you. So this weekend is going to be the best. You're going to form friendships. You're going to deepen friendships. You're going to get aha moment coaching. Like you're going to be like, oh my God, how did I even ever live my life without this coaching? You're going to get crazy good confidence from this. You're going to really walk away with a belief that anything is possible. We are going to laugh. We're going to go deep too, right? We are going to hone in on some of the Yummy Mommy tools and concepts. You're going to have time to get coached. Every single person is going to have time to get coached. So that is a guarantee. You're going to get signature Yummy Mommy workshops. There'll be bonus, like I said, hikes, bonus yoga. First 10 people, you guys, that sign up get an experience with me, dinner and drinks. We're going to do really special. There's going to be some games. It's going to be awesome. There'll be time if you want to spot up. Actually, Boulder is kind of a foodie city, which is really cool because if you don't know, I teach that you can weigh what you want and be a foodie, like yours truly. And we are just going to have the best time. It's all about freedom. It's all about becoming more liberated, happy, and like really the best damn version of yourself. It's really not too good to be true. You will walk away feeling forever changed in the best way possible. There will be a focus on health and well-being, but this is like truly a life coaching retreat. So you don't have to be a mom of humans to attend. You don't have to have weight to lose. Really, you can just come and be. It's going to be so freaking fun. So go to lauraconley.com/IRL. Get IRL like in real life. Get it? lauraconley.com/IRL. You'll also see it just on the page at lauraconley.com. It's $9.97 to attend. And again, if you're like one of those first 10 to sign up, you're going to get that special drinks and dinner experience with me. If you're a Yummy Mommy Master, you'll also get a special experience with me. So that's so fun. You're going to want to sign up now because space is very, very limited. And you're going to want to go to that page, sign up, and book your hotel. So there's a room block. There's a discounted rate. Yeah, it's going to be, I'm like ecstatic that I get to come back into this retreat space and lead retreats again after COVID is like, dare I say it, officially over. And my kids are a little bit older. They're not attached to my boobs. Oh my God, you guys, I led retreats for a while. Luna would come. She'd like be on my boob. I'd be like teaching Warrior 2. Oh, such good memories. I love it. But no babies will be on boobs, and leave your babies at home as well. Okay. So that is the episode that I have for today. I would love to hear from you guys. Are you guys sold? Do you want to go on a retreat? Do you want to go on a retreat with me? If you have any questions, if you're like, I don't know if this retreat is for me, like what about this? What about that? I'm scared. Yeah. Then just email us, team@lauraconley.com, and we will take care of you. I hope you guys have the best week ever, and I will see you in Boulder at the end of April. Hey, if you've enjoyed listening to this podcast, I would love it if you leave a rate, review, and a subscribe on whatever you're listening to this podcast in. Pretty pleased with a cherry on top. It would help me so much, and it would help all the other mamas out there hear this message. Thank you in advance. I really appreciate it. And you have to come check out the Yummy Mummy experience. It's my proven lose weight for the last time group coaching and course. Head to lauraconley.com and just click work with me. Other than that, you guys, I would love to give you a free gift. If you want your free listener only gift, go to lauraconley.com/gift. And from there, you will get your free best ever weight loss hack. So cool. The last thing I want to tell you, you guys, is I do have a free Facebook group. It's called, you guessed it, The Yummy Mummy. Lose weight for the last time, end body drama, and get food freedom. You can just search that on Facebook, or again, you can head to the show notes and you'll find the link there. All right, you guys, have the best day ever.